Hey guys, alright, so today got this PowerMatic table saw. It's currently sitting on top of my old movable base that I've built out of 2x4s and some Harbor Freight casters or something. Today we're going to rebuild that base so that I can more readily move this thing around the shop before I set it up completely. These are the casters I spec'd for it. I think each one's rated for like 175 pounds, so close to 700 pounds worth of 700 to 800 pounds worth of capacity. It's going to basically be all four wheels are going to swivel, but they're lockable, and they're also swivel locks. So there's a little bit of slop when they're locked, but don't think that's going to be an issue. Could be a little bit of an issue, but we'll try it out. For the price that it's cost me to get these casters, as well as the wood to build the base, it's worth trying out. I think the casters, yeah, right here it's $66, so $70, and what's a 2x4, $3 or $4 a piece. Probably take two 2x4s to make this thing, so it might be all in it at maybe call it $80, plus the hardware, so considering some of the prices that they're going for those actual mobile bases that are kind of professional grade, I think they're in the $300 range easily. So this should be pretty robust and pretty economical to achieve. So I got all my measurements down. Looks like my base is 21 1/4, so I had to add 3.5 to each side to count for the 2x4's width. So that puts me at a total of 28.25. To get the casters to clear, I need to go about 7.75 to allow for sorry about the camera work. About 7.75 to allow clearance for this guy up against what will be the other 2x4. Again, it looks kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but it looks kind of something like that. They got 2x4s underneath there, little 2x4 frame, something like that. But anywho, yeah, so now I got everything cut and I'm about ready to assemble. All right, guys, so I got the whole frame together. It's all bolted together. I used this carpenter square to square everything up before I bolted it together, just to ensure that everything was nice and square. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the wheels on. So I'm going to position these, make sure I have clearance between the 2x4s and the locking mechanism here. And I'll mark these holes, drill them, and then I think these are called carriage bolts. Carriage bolt it all together, and then we'll have ourselves a base. And then I'll pop the saw on top of the base, and we'll be able to move this thing around the shop. 500-pound table saw. So I've positioned the caster so that I can use it as a template. Just clamped it in place once I squared it up to the 1/2-inch line that I marked, and then I used just the bracket as a template to drill my hole. So I'll go ahead and drill the other 3 holes, but basically the carriage bolt goes in there and cinches up or squares up inside of that hole so it doesn't rotate. Comes out the back side there. So pretty simple. It's something to note when you're drilling these holes here. It gets a little sawdust all over the place. So you don't want to get sawdust inside of those bearings there, like I've done. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some painter's tape around those bearings to keep them from getting all boogered up. Nothing fancy there. Just wrap a little chunk around there, and you should be good. All right, guys. So got everything all mounted up. Now it's time to figure out how to single-handedly get that base underneath that saw. I think I'm just going to go the teeter-totter approach. Tilt it back, slide it down, slide it back partially, chock the wheels, and repeat. All right. I don't have a tripod to hold the camera, but so I'll show you the method. Basically, teeter the saw back a little bit, get it partially under there. At this point, it's sketchy to actually hold it in place, so I'm just going to lock the wheels, as well as put a board from here to here on the floor, just so I have something to kind of shimmy it up onto, and then I'll pull the board out from underneath. So something like that. This board's underneath, and now I'll start to shimmy it towards me. All right, so I've successfully shimmied it up the board, and I've got it right to this last point. So now to get the board out, I'm gonna take this other board here, basically, get it under there, step up, something like that. I'll use two hands, but something like that, and then I'll just pop the board out. All right, guys, mission accomplished. Now I have a mobile work stand that will roll in any direction. Now I can set up the whole fence and add a work table. I'm gonna probably add a cabinet below with a support on the work table at some point. But basically, goal's been accomplished. The cabinet saw will be easily moved around the entire shop. So I'm pretty excited about it. About $85, and maybe, if it's fair, about 3 hours of work total, including go get materials. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See ya.